All right, so if we want to solve this for indicator 2, we would distribute the 7, and that would give us negative 56 plus 7n is greater than negative 196. All right, what would I do next? Okay, what would I do next? Add 56 to both sides. And then 7n is greater than, and that would give us negative 140. We add negative 196 plus 56. Now, on this one, if I divide, do you guys all agree that whenever I divide, I get negative 20? Negative 140 divided by 7. Now, do I flip my inequality or do I keep it? You know, say, which one do I do? Do I flip it or do I keep it the same? Oh, what did we divide by? Is that a positive or a negative number? When you divide by a positive number, this stays the same. Now, if you divide by a negative number, then you flip it. So if the number with the variable is negative, that is whenever you flip the sign. So let's do another example like this. All right, something like this. And look, it's multiple choice. But in this case, that 7k just comes straight down. What are we distributing? A 7 or a negative 7? It's a negative 7. So we get negative 7 times a negative k turns into a positive 7k. And then negative 7 times a negative 2 gives me a positive 14. Now, do I have anything I can combine over on that right-hand side? So do we see any like terms? All right, the two 7k's. We put those together, that'd be 14k plus 14. Now, if you want to get the k by itself, what are you going to do first? Yep. Minus the 14 over to the 98. And that becomes negative 112. Now, I'm going to rewrite this up here. All right, negative 112 is less than or equal to 4k. Now, if we divide by 4, we don't have to flip because we're dividing by a positive 4. What is negative 112 divided by 4? Negative 8. You're going to say 112 divided by 4? Oh man, I'm tired. It's been a... Alright, so it goes in twice, and that's 8, and then we get 32. Yeah, that's 28. Why is that not on there?
It's supposed to be 14.
It's supposed to be 14.
It's been a long... Like, I'm not joking. You guys gotta just call me out on this stuff. Okay, so what's that? You fixed my problem. Negative 8. There we go. I knew the answer was negative 8. I just don't know what I was thinking. Alright, now if you look at this, do you guys see that the way we have it, the negative 8 is first, but the way that the solution has it, the k is first? But if you look at this, this is the answer. But if you're looking at that, the negative 8 is the smaller side. The inequality is pointing to the negative 8. The bigger side is pointing to k. Always make sure that your inequality matches on that. Now, at any time, whenever I copy stuff down like that, correct me. You know, say, you guys can correct me on that. All right, so
let's see, we got a couple more. You know, say there's one I definitely want to hit more than the other one. Okay, I definitely want to make sure that we do one like this. Okay, this is a conjunction. This is whenever we have two inequalities that we're going to graph on the same number line. And what's our goal for the middle? To get A by itself. All right, so we're only focusing on this middle. So if we want to get A by itself here, what's our first step? All right, so if I add 9 to get this to go away, I have to add it to both sides. So then -5 plus 9 is -4, which is less than 4A, which is less than 36.
It's supposed to be +4.
+4, thank you. All right, then what's our last step?
Divide both sides by 4.
All right, so if I have to divide this by 4, I got to divide everything by 4. And so this becomes 1 is less than or equal to A, which is less than 9. So if we want to graph this on our number line, the first symbol goes with 1. So are we open or closed at 1? Closed. Are we open or closed at 9? All right, and then on a conjunction, where do we shade? Do we shade inside or outside? In between the two circles or outside the two circles? Do you guys remember? You know, say if we just ignore this first or the second half, if we just look, is A bigger than 1 or less than 1?
Bigger.
A is bigger than 1. Bigger than 1 really means go this way. All right, is A bigger than 9 or smaller than 9? Smaller. All right, where's the area where it works for both, where it overlaps? In between. So then we shade right in between. All right, so it looks like we have time for one more. So I'm going to go through and pick one. Let's do this one. So we have 5 times n plus 4, then -3 is greater than -3 times the quantity -2n minus 4. All right, so we want to distribute. Down the -3 because it wasn't part of the distributive property. Now here, what happens to two negatives? Now say I started to work a little too fast. All right, two negatives make a positive 6n. Two negatives here make a positive 12. Now I'm going to combine my 20 minus 3 and change this to 5n plus 17. Greater than 6n plus 12. All right, now I like to write my variables on the left. So I'm going to subtract 6n to both sides. And that becomes -1n. Plus 17 is greater than 12. And then where do we go from here? -1n is greater than -5. Now this time, what am I dividing by? Alright, so if I divide by a negative, when I write my inequality, does it stay greater than or does it flip to less than? stand, and then two negatives make a positive 5. And I will tell you guys, on a multiple choice test, the variable is always on the left. So I would recommend putting variables on the left when you can. So I'm going to stop this and get this uploaded to YouTube. And I want